You're watching Men's Success Bible channel, and as the name implies, obviously this is a channel that's geared towards men, but we've attracted some female viewers, and this is going to be a video that I think is more beneficial actually for women, though of course this is going to benefit and entertain the guys. However, this video, some of the things I'm going to say, they may be a tough pill to swallow for the ladies. But stick around until the end as well, because I'm going to talk about some personal things that I've been doing that don't necessarily relate to this specific topic, but they certainly relate to what we've been talking about on the channel. But first, the good people at 7-Eleven reached out to me and they said, "We love every message in every video that you've given that the Men's Success Bible has put out. And I'd like to thank 7-Eleven for sponsoring this video. And since it is Christmas time, I recommend that you go into 7-Eleven and you pick up their holiday ham toasted sandwich. As you can see, it's got fiber-rich whole wheat bread, crushed pineapple, and premium whole wheat ham. And of course, be sure to also use your 7-Eleven card so you get rewards that you can put towards hot dogs, ice cream, all kinds of stuff. So let's get into this message that 7-Eleven fully agrees with and endorses. I saw a meme posted by a dried up old lady yesterday, and let's take a look at that. And I think this is going to be something that when men and women look at, they see two very different things. Now, this dried up old coot, she shared this because I think a lot of women would see this photo different than the way men see it. What she sees probably is a loser sitting around playing video games in total filth. Now, what I see, and I think what a lot of men would see, is they see a happy young man. This guy's living the way he wants to live. He doesn't have anyone nagging him, telling him to clean up after himself. He's sitting around playing video games, and while I don't advocate that young men waste their time sitting around playing video games, there is a message that he's doing what he loves to do. Also, he's not a bad looking fellow, so he looks like the kind of guy that probably gets girls anytime he wants. And the caption says, "So yeah, once women hit 30, they basically have nothing to offer." And I would say that I don't agree, ladies. I know a lot of them are fuming at this, but I would say I also don't agree with this message at all. However, there's one word that could be added, and I think it would become essentially true. If it said, "So yeah, once single women hit 30, they basically have nothing to offer." To say that would probably be accurate, because the truth is, and I'm seeing this firsthand in my life right now, women that are mothers, they are doing the most important job. They're bringing up the future and what society is going to become, and there's no more important job than being a parent. So any woman that does that, and seeing how hard it is, they totally have, all moms have my respect, even moms that are not necessarily the greatest mom, but if they're trying, if they're doing their best, they have my full respect. Now, a lot of women don't want to hear this message, and people are going, "But what about all the guys that are into older ladies and that like dating them?" And take it from me, ladies, I was one of those guys that had a thing for older ladies. But the reality is, once you hit about 30, you start to go the opposite direction, and now you start finding younger girls more attractive, at least girls in their 20s. And if you would have talked to me when I was dating any of the older ladies that I've dated, and they were all very nice people, but they didn't get the type of message that I'm going to give you in this video. They were wonderful people, but if you would have came to me when I was dating any of these older ladies and you said, "So what's the plans for the future? Are you going to get married? What's going to happen with you guys as a couple going forward in the future?" And I would have said, "Future. There is no future for us. This is just someone that I'm seeing, hanging out with, having a good time with." That's how guys view women, especially younger guys that are dating older women, because they know too much as I knew. Well, that's not ideal for for my future of having a family and my future going forward. Right now, this is just someone I'm having fun with. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear this, and it's not that these women dating, dating after 30 or dating younger guys, I'm not saying they're bad people. But this is a message you want to hear, especially if you're dating younger guys, even older guys, quite frankly. A lot of them are going to look at you that way if especially if they've never been married, at least they've never had kids of their own already, and they're looking to have a future in the family. Maybe they feel they're not ready to have a family just yet, just like me at age, in my early to mid 20s. I wasn't thinking now's not the right. I wasn't thinking about having a family and having kids, but I knew that a little bit later on I'm going to do that. So right now it's nothing I'm serious with. We're just hanging out, having fun. And of course, and this is something I've thought about myself. My wife, she's getting older. She's around my age, and if something happened to her or whatever in the future, I'm not going to date someone her age, my age, whatever. If I was looking for a future wife, I would date someone younger. I would date someone early to mid 20s, because especially after becoming a father and learning how much I love being a dad, I'd want to have more kids. So you're going to need an older lady. You're not going to want someone getting into middle age for that. So the reality is, the way men look at women, once they've hit 30, single women hitting 30, they basically don't have any value except, yeah, maybe I can hook up with her. She's a sexy MILF or whatever. But they don't view these women in that kind of way. And I know that this is hard for a lot of women to hear. And look, quite frankly, if you've gotten the wrong information, which is very easy to do, we've all been brainwashed to some extent with the wrong information. We've all been programmed. And society really does a number on women, where it programs them, don't have a family, focus on your career, you can always do that later. But the reality is it's much harder to do later. And working for a boss, working for a company and serving them instead of serving your husband and your kids, that's not better. Somehow that's the trick that feminism has played, that working for someone else and serving someone else is what women should go after instead of serving a husband and their children. But I'm just in awe of watching my wife, what a great mom she is. And like I said, it's a hard job. Being a dad's a hard job. Being a mom's a hard job. Anyone that tries their best, no one's perfect. You're not gonna do everything just right, and it's a learning process. But anyone that tries their best, they certainly have my utmost respect. And like I said, if you're a woman that you've made the mistake and maybe you've waited too long, I'd prefer you actually not hear this message, because the reality is, if something's already been done, a mistake's already been made that can't be corrected and there's no time, the reality is just saying those things to someone, it's just going to make them feel bad, which is not at all what I want to do to you on this channel. So hopefully, if you are a lady watching this, hopefully you're young enough that you can correct course, because it's kind of like investing financially. The reality is, for a lot of different types of financial investments, you got to start at a fairly young age for the time to build up, for the investment to have time to build up into something significant. You got to start at a young age. It's kind of the same thing for this, especially for women, since they have a biological clock. You have a finite amount of time where you can get pregnant and such. And then even if you can get pregnant, people are getting pregnant at older and older ages. And I'm finding this out firsthand experience. It might be harder than if you're a younger person when you have a little bit more energy, being an older parent. But there's been so that was the message that I want to get out to you guys on this. But there has been some things going on in my personal life, and I thought I'd share them with you. If you've been following this channel, you know that I talk a lot. This isn't a channel about politics, but I do talk about certain political figures, mostly YouTube political commentators such as Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, the list goes on and on. But something that I've also talked a lot in my videos is how politics, it's something you want to avoid watching a lot of this stuff. because it's such a low vibration. It's something that's going to bring you down. And getting involved in this drama, if you want to be successful in life, whatever your definition of success is, whatever you want to be, do, and have, whatever version of that is for you personally, and that's for you to decide, getting involved in all this political theater, all this drama, it's only going to hold you back. And the reality is, seeing some of the things that have been going on lately, I've just kind of wanted to disconnect from it. So I had a very good week. I had a professional meeting that, God willing, something good comes out of it. And then I took a day off. There was a big athletic competition where I'm living that has all these different types of sports, but I went to the freestyle wrestling. And part of it was I kind of wanted to take a look at the competition to see how I think I would do. I used to be a very high-level wrestler, but that was many years ago at this point, and I'm far past my athletic prime now. But I was, in this local competition with a lot of the countries that came that I don't think are wrestling powerhouses, I went to see, do I think I could beat these guys if I trained a little? And in particular, I wanted to watch the heavyweights because currently, right now, with my current body weight, that's who I would be competing against, which I wouldn't have a problem even if I was a small heavyweight. I would probably prefer that. So we went to the medal matches of this wrestling tournament, and they have all these different countries there. Had a great time. We took a bus to this other city, which was about an hour to hour and a half, so it was a day trip and an adventure. I watched the wrestling. Some of them surprised me by how good they were. And then when the heavyweights came out for the finals match, and interesting enough, the country that was there that had the best team that won every gold medal in the freestyle was the country of Vietnam. So they must be more advanced, have been doing it longer, have better training, whatever. But they won every gold medal in freestyle. But when the heavyweights came out, one guy, the first guy to come out for the finals, he was a kind of short, fat guy, kind of like what you think about a lot of typical heavyweights are. And then the guy from Vietnam came out, and this was a big, scary man. A huge guy, kind of like a bodybuilder guy, real big guy, tall guy, heavily muscled, a much larger guy than me, actually. And it's like, this is a very scary looking guy, but I watched these guys wrestle. And he's one of those guys. Wrestling's kind of a hard thing because a lot of the times these guys that look like bodybuilders, they're really scary. But sometimes the best guys, they're guys that kind of look like wimps if you look at them physically. And this was a match where the guy from Vietnam ended up winning, mainly because the fat guy gassed out. But he got off to an early lead because the guy from Vietnam, he did this kind of weird throw and he ended up on his back. And the other guy took a lead. He couldn't hold on to the lead because he gassed out. But actually the fatter guy looked like the better wrestler, and I thought, man, if I had some time to get in shape, even being old, being after my prime, I mean, and this is all in my head because I haven't tested it out. Who knows, maybe I'm not that good anymore, even if I think I am. I think that I would beat those guys personally, but it was a lot of fun, and it was my son's first exposure to wrestling because I got to train the kids someday. And we actually took him to a wrestling tournament last year, the Junior Nationals in Fargo, North Dakota. So he saw that. Now we saw this. He was outside my wife's body and seeing this. So trying to expose him to the right thing. But going on this day trip, watching this wrestling tournament, focusing on something so unrelated to a lot of the other drama going on in life, it was just so refreshing, and it takes you to such a better place. And I wanted to share this with you because I think that that's what's, even though I've said this in other videos, I think this kind of illustrates my point. I think that's what so many of you guys really need to do much more often. You need to get away from some of the drama out there in the political theater. And I remember even last night when we were going to bed, my wife, she saw this article that's been going viral. And the headline is something like, Trump is fighting to destroy the elite. Something like that. That's not the exact title. Maybe you guys have seen this being passed around on social media. And my wife mentioned that to me, and I said, well, it would be nice to believe that's true. But he is one of the elites. And look at his son-in-law and his daughter. Certainly, they're part of the elites. They're not trying to destroy their structure. All these people that they're rallying against, they were friends with. I remember how that one Jewish vlogger from New York got a lot of flack because he was about the most popular vlogger at the time, And he said before the elections, he said he endorsing Hillary Clinton, which a lot of people rubbed the wrong way, but he really took it a step further, and he told in the message, he said all other popular YouTubers, they need to tell their audience to go out and vote for Hillary Clinton, which not only infuriated the audience, but the other YouTubers, because they're like, who does this guy think he is to tell me who I should endorse, and to tell me that I should tell all my fans, even people that don't run political channels, which he didn't either, to tell us that we should tell our audience to go out and vote for Hillary Clinton. So he angered both the audience as well as other big YouTubers by demanding that they tell their audience to. And then he tried to do like a soft video kind of talking about it. And he's like, look, Ivanka Trump, or Ivana, whatever her name is actually my friend. It's like, well, of course they are. They're both these rich, elite Jewish people that no matter how much they try and say that they're someone of the people and they love the common man. Kind of like Trump's daughter, she's going around trying to prop herself up as an example for working class women and be an inspiration. But come on, if she was born in the Midwest to someone that's a farmer or something, she wouldn't be in her position. It's because it's the connection she has, who her family is. And of course these people all run in the same circles, even like that vlogger guy. He's like, oh, I love my black delivery man, you know. But essentially these guys, they want to keep it in their own kind. Meaning, you know, in their inner circle. That's how these things work. But it's such a waste of time to try and get into the drama and fight for these people that, quite frankly, they don't care about you. So I'm here to try and talk about interesting things that hopefully you can walk away with better than when you watch the video, and you can walk away with something that you can actually implement into your own life. So thank you guys. Until next time, God bless.